We be going wild. Haitian in the building, so original. Got the haters catching feelings. Get your hands up to the ceiling and keep them held high. Cause St. Louis isn't ready. Forget about it, goodbye. Hold up, we just saying hi. Five somebody, rise up. Weekdays, catch us live, somebody. Let's go.
Good afternoon. Good morning and good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Pascal Show. What's good, everybody? Good afternoon, good evening, and good morning. Welcome to the Pascal Show. Hope you guys are all doing well out there. Hope this show finds you in great spirits, because another day above the dirt is always a doggone blessing, ain't it? Ain't it good to be alive? Ain't it good to be breathing and stuff? Isn't it nice? You know what I'm saying? I don't think there's any disagreement on that. You know what I'm saying? And if there is disagreement on that, try to put a smile on your face, okay? By watching this show. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that we're talking about today. There's a lot of drama. There's a lot of things popping off. A lot of things percolating out here in these streets. But we're here to talk about it nonetheless. Okay? So, let's get this conversation popping. So do me a favor, okay? Do me the solid, all right? Hit that like button down below. Oh, that's weird. Hit that like button down below. Crush it, do what it do. Hit that reaction button if you're watching on these other platforms. If you are watching on these other platforms like Facebook, X/Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Rumble, Twitch, Kick, please do me a solid, okay? By simply hitting that follow button on those platforms. Follow. Don't forget to do that, okay? Hit that subscribe button here on my main channel. That'll be greatly appreciated. Subscribe here on the main channel. Go to my second channel, The Pascal Show Clips. Subscribe over there as well. That would be amazing. Subscribe to the second channel, The Pascal Show Clips. Hit that notification bell. Set it to all so you know whenever I go live, whenever I upload, because it is random, okay? It is random. Hit that join button down below. Become a member. Check out my Patreon. And, of course, check out PascalMerch.com. PascalMerch.com. We got some really great stuffs over there. So go check it out. PascalMerch.com. Okay, guys, we got to get straight into the nitty gritty. And there's a lot of stuff that happened last night that I didn't get a chance to chop it up with you guys about. There was a hostage situation in Cali that just ended a few hours ago. A guy walked in strapped with a boom boom, allegedly with a boom boom. And he held people in a Chase Bank in Bakersfield, California, hostage. And it was a multi-hour standoff between police and this particular suspect. They eventually neutralized the suspect. Just so you know, they eventually neutralized the suspect. Now, we got to do a little bit of background, you know what I mean? Take a trip down memory lane, discuss some of this stuff before we get into the press conference that actually just happened. And a lot of stuff is being said in there. There's a lot of confusion. There was a lot of rumor floating around about this particular suspect. What this particular suspect was really trying to do. Some people are saying that he was trying to, prove his innocence to something. To what? I have no idea. Okay? I don't know. I really don't know, right? So, again, there's just been speculation, a lot of rumors flying all over the place. So we're going to get into some of the things that happened yesterday, just talking about the breaking news up to where we are right now. Okay, so let's rock and freaking roll.
Night in downtown Bakersfield, where an unknown number of people are being held hostage inside the Chase Bank building on Truxton Avenue. Good evening to you. I'm Jim Scott.
And I'm Tammy Melchuk. We are now 4 hours into the frightening ordeal, which began when a man with an apparent bomb strapped to his chest walked inside and told people to get on the floor. Families of the loved ones being held, watching and waiting in agony as local police work with the FBI to bring an end to the threat.
We begin our coverage tonight with 17's Connor Dorr, who's at the scene. He's standing by with everything we know so far. Connor, good evening.
Jim, Tammy, we just got an update from Bakersfield Police that their crisis negotiation team was able to negotiate a safe release of one of the hostages that was inside the Chase Bank. Everyone else that is a hostage and the suspect is still inside. They also say they can't confirm if there is a bomb yet, but it's too dangerous to go inside. Let me just show you the scene behind me. Right now, it looks like they are building something down by that blue tent. We don't really know what it is, but there is a big police presence here. We've been told that the FBI, Homeland Security, and we've seen some ATF vests also on scene. Police confirm the man has barricaded himself in the back of the room, in the back of a bank. An eyewitness close to 17th Street said he saw SWAT surrounding the Bearcat on the phone with someone. Another eyewitness said he was coming in from LA and he was behind the FBI staging headquarters, which seemingly he believed to be heading here. We haven't been able to confirm that, though. There are several road closures right now, 2-block radius from 17th and Chester, which is where the Chase Bank is. Right now, it's probably best to just avoid downtown. There is a lot of police activity, a lot of work, and to just keep yourself safe and your day smooth, it's probably best just to avoid downtown. We're still trying to figure out what's going on. We have Hall Ambulance to my right here that is setting up tarps on the ground. We don't know why, and there's a lot of ambulances here as well. And now here we are. This is what we are seeing and hearing right now. We have a sky cam on the parking garage of 18th and I where you can see a top-down view, but we really don't know how these negotiations are going. We do know that one hostage was released and is safe, and we don't know how many hostages are inside the Chase Bank still, or if he really does have a bomb. We'll keep you updated. Connor Dorr, 17 News, live from downtown Bakersfield.
So again, I mean, obviously, this is obviously the very, very beginning of it all. People are very obviously there's some serious concern, in regards to what's going on inside this particular bank. We are still trying to figure out why this even happened. It's pretty insane, or what transpired, what got them to this place, right? So again, this is some just very, 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 very crazy stuff. We're going to look at a few other things. This is something, I'm going to pull this up and have that over there for now, but let's take a look at a witness describing the situation.
After police responded, our 17 News crew spoke with a customer who was just inches away from the suspect.
17's Andres Armenta has more on today's top story from the man who saw it unfold in real time.
A warm Tuesday afternoon and a regular trip to Chase Bank in downtown Bakersfield for Freddie Arredondo.
Out of nowhere, this guy appears from our left side, and he's just standing right there, and he interrupts us, and he's like, "It's a bad day to be at the bank."
In seconds, the situation got heated.
As he was talking to us, that's when he started reaching like this, and that's when he just whips out the switch, and that's when like my eyes just got big, like, oh no, like this is actually it's a bomb, and I've never seen anything like this or felt anything like that. It was just beyond words.
A moment of stillness and eternity for Arredondo.
I was just fearing for my wife that she was outside, my kids, not being able to see them ever again. It was just a lot right there. You sort of do feel everything flash before you.
Among the silent chaos, Arredondo says the suspect began a speech.
He started just bringing up his Marine career and stuff, and he was just rambling on that. And like I said, I was just trying to walk back, and that's when he started really getting mad at me. And I didn't want to listen. I wanted to live.
Arredondo says he was the only one slowly backing away from the suspect before taking advantage of a second of distraction.
I just turned around and started running out, and that's when he started screaming. But when I did that, everybody else ran out too, so it sort of gave everybody a little more of a chance. But yeah.
After calling 911, Arredondo captured the early scenes of police response. That brings us to where we are now, with all possible units ranging from SWAT to K-9, bomb squad, and negotiators to try and mediate the situation.
This is a very active scene. We ask that if any members of the community are watching this right now, please stay out of the area. That way the police officers on scene can do what they need to do to bring this to the safest conclusion possible.
I mean, you know, again, that some of these people got very, very lucky that they didn't get stuck in there. Just to keep it real with y'all, I mean, they got very, very lucky that they didn't get stuck in that spot, because it could have been that. It could have been really, really nasty. Obviously, this whole thing could have gotten even more disturbing, even more destructive, more chaotic. So it's pretty insane what was going on yesterday. And I know there was other people that were like live streaming all day and all night for this whole thing. Unfortunately, I couldn't do it. I couldn't get here and be here to give you guys even a break, you know, even break the story to you guys yesterday. Things got in the way. But nonetheless, this is absolutely crazy. I'm playing a few more things before we get into this press conference to give us more insight of what actually happened, right? But again, my Lord, did some of these, everybody that was in there, that is so lucky. They got very, very lucky. And the question also I'm wondering is, was it a dud? Like, that's kind of the other question I have too. Was what he had strapped on his chest, was it a dud? Or was it the real deal Holyfield? You know what I'm saying? I'm just curious.
Unbelievable scene unfolding in downtown
This is from
Bakersfield
last night.
today. Several people taken hostage inside the Chase Bank building on Truxtun Avenue.
A bomb threat has closed down several streets and buildings. This after a man with an apparent bomb strapped to his chest walked inside and told people to get on the floor. We have been live at the scene since it all began at 1 o'clock this afternoon, happening just a few blocks away from our 17 News studios. 17's Connor Dorr is there and has been there all day, and he's joining us live now with what we know so far. Connor, good evening.
Good evening, Jim, Tammy. Right now, I'm here on H and 17th Street. You can see the Chase Bank building behind me where a suspect walked in, allegedly with a bomb strapped to his chest. And now what I have for you is kind of a heart-wrenching story. I spoke with a man who has been texting his daughter in the Chase Bank building, who is hiding with two other women in an office. She's diabetic.
You see what he did? Hold on, you got to hear. You heard that pet peeve of mine? Did you hear that, Ish? Did you hear that? I'm sorry for the left turn. I'm sorry, but hold on. Hear how he said, women.
In the Chase Bank building, who is hiding with two other women in an office.
Oh, my Lord. It's women. It's women. You know, it's not Little Woman. You know, like, I wouldn't have read that book. Classic book. Oh, what book was it called? Oh, yeah, it was Little Woman. No, it's women. See? Now you can't not see it. You can't not hear it. Now you're going to hear it. You're going to be like, oh, Pascal will be losing his mind right now. You see what I'm saying? It's women. It's not woman. It's women. With all due respect, okay. It's just women. I'm just letting you know. Let's get to the facts. Let's get to the news. He's nervous. There's a lot going on. Okay. He's trying his best, and he's giving us the facts. It's just women. Okay. You good? It's called women. Let's move on.
She's diabetic and worried about getting her glucose medicine, but she said she was able to find something to help her diabetes. Now, right now, what we know so far is around 1 p.m. police were called to an active bomb threat into to the downtown Bakersfield area, and these buildings have been closed down ever since. We spoke to one eyewitness who said he saw the man whip out a wire from his shirt and told everyone to get down. Homeland Security, FBI, and ATF are on scene as well. Hundreds of law enforcement have swarmed 17th Street. Eyewitnesses say the suspect is on the second floor, and which is where the Kern County Superintendent of Schools floor office building is. Now, KCSO confirmed a search warrant was executed in connection with the case in Oildale. They raided a home. No details of what was found or what they were looking for. Here's what we still don't know. Officials haven't identified who this suspect is or if the bomb is actually real. We don't know how many hostages there are, only that 2 were released as of news time, 1 earlier this afternoon and 1 just an hour ago. The best way to help is to avoid downtown Bakersfield right now. This is a very active scene. This is a very active scene with armored trucks and police cars coming in and out. And right now, officials are saying, please just avoid downtown Bakersfield. We'll continue to be here and report throughout the night and into the morning. So make sure you wake up early to check the latest on what's going on with this hostage crisis.
Yeah. And of course, obviously this happened. Some things happened this morning. Hostages were being released and all that, too. Take a look.
This morning, we're monitoring a tense standoff outside a bank in Southern California. Right now, police are responding to an active hostage situation there. Officials say the suspect barricaded himself with several people inside, and it's not clear exactly how many. CBS News national correspondent Jonathan Vigliotti joins us live from Bakersfield with more on all of this. Jonathan, good morning. What can you tell us?
And Errol, good morning to you. We're here in downtown Bakersfield, about a block away from that Chase Bank. You can see here the scene has quieted down quite a bit. And this as we're hearing unconfirmed reports this morning that the suspect has been removed from the building.
Subject came in yelling, everyone stay down on the ground.
A nightmare scenario unfolded in Bakersfield, California, Tuesday.
It appears he's going to be on the second floor with, and he has a hostage.
After police say a man entered a Chase Bank around 1 p.m. local time with an apparent bomb strapped to his body and began making threats. They say he barricaded himself in the building with several community members trapped inside. Overnight, Bakersfield police revealed 2 of those hostages had been released.
We were able to negotiate the release of a second hostage, and it does appear that everybody else in the building is still in good health.
But police say the situation is far from over, as an unknown number of hostages still remain inside the building. New video shows what appears to be a woman in distress inside that building, kneeling to the ground. Then another woman appears and seemingly kneels to the ground out of sight. Earlier in the day, police swarmed the area and locked down several government buildings, including City Hall.
The most violent robberies, the ones you worry about, are the real true takeover robberies or the hostage situations such as this. It is rare that these happen.
CBS News law enforcement contributor Lance Lysing says that law enforcement team's main concern is getting everyone out safely.
The more communication gives you more opportunities to understand the motivation, and then maybe squeeze in some ability to, hey, let's release a hostage in return for this.
And 2 hostages were released overnight as a result of those successful hostage negotiations. According to officials, there were no injuries. It's still unclear how many people are inside, if they remain inside that building as part of this ongoing investigation. I can tell you there are a number of family members here anxiously awaiting word as we now await official confirmation from police and authorities on the status of the suspect and the motive here, Errol.
Yeah, such an anxious morning.
Yeah, and it definitely was. Like I said, there was a lot of a lot of coverage over this situation, as it was unfolding for the entire night. I mean, this was several hours of people, of police trying to do everything they could to get this thing, to get this over with, to stop this chaos from happening inside this Chase Bank. And I'm still wanting to understand why this person did what they did. You see what I'm saying? What was the reasoning behind this? What, was it just PTSD? He apparently talked about being a Marine, and all that. And so again, maybe this is what's going on. I got one more clip before we go into this press conference. Actually, hold on. One more clip before we go. 2 more clips before we go into this press conference, just so we can gauge a better idea of what's going on here before we get into it.
News right now, a 15-hour hostage standoff at a bank in Bakersfield, California is finally over. We're learning more details, but police say the remaining hostages are now free after the FBI shot and killed the suspect. The ordeal began yesterday when officers responded to a bomb threat call. News Nation national correspondent Nancy Liu is live for us in Bakersfield. And Nancy, we're waiting a police news conference to begin sometime soon. But what do we know so far about the standoff and how it all came to an end?
Anna, definitely a lot of relief here in Bakersfield. This is the Chase branch right in the heart of downtown Bakersfield. This is where this frightening hostage situation unfolded, ended this morning with the suspect shot and killed by the FBI. Now, sources are telling us that it all unfolded in the upper floors of the Chase Bank, and there were actually about a dozen hostages. Now, the suspect had walked into the branch at around 1 o'clock yesterday afternoon, and security seemed to immediately take notice. Bank customer Freddie Arredondo says he arrived around the time it all started, spotting a security guard on his phone, and while standing in line, Arredondo noticed a bearded, heavy-set older man walk in, holding his torso and acting like he was strapped with a bomb. Take a listen.
He started telling us that he was a Marine veteran, and he started giving out some speech and everything, but I wasn't like, I felt like I just blacked everything out. I was just like that life or dead mode, you know, or however you say it. But yeah, I just ran out after that, but he was, like I said, you could see the whole bomb on him. Everything was all strapped up onto him from the inside, but you could see it hanging out from the sides too. And then all you saw were a bunch of wires, like just hanging out, and he was holding on this switch.
Throughout the standoff, crisis teams had negotiated with the suspect by phone, convincing him to release 2 hostages last night. Bakersfield police say the FBI shot and killed the suspect after moving into the bank this morning. Now, News Nation spoke with a lawyer who represented the suspect back in 2019 for a child pornography case. He was called here to the scene yesterday to speak with the suspect, but he was not allowed to go inside.
So here's the thing. Hold on. So here's the thing. There's a big conversation about, there's been a lot of speculation, a lot of people talking about a bunch of things that are saying that he was, you know, out here trying to exonerate himself or something like that. He was wrongfully accused of something. You see what I'm saying? I got a video on that too, which is very interesting. Deborah, thank you so much for the comment. He has a documentary on Label the Monster on YouTube about the evidence on his conviction. Interesting. So yeah, so like I said, there are people out here on the internet, you know, on Instagrams and the TikToks saying basically that he was out here trying to say like he didn't do what they say he was convicted of doing. But going in and saying I got a boom boom strapped to my chest and I'm going to blow everybody to kingdom come doesn't help your case. Last I checked. So just something to think about as we continue with this, okay? Yeah.
And according to that attorney, the suspect never had a bomb, and it was only a prop. At this hour, this scene remains locked down as law enforcement investigates this deadly incident.
So it was a fugazi. So the boom boom that he had strapped to his mother-loving chest was a fugazi. Dear Lord. Allegedly. We'll find out in the press conference.
Anna?
Absolutely horrifying, and all those people are going to be dealing with some stress afterward as well. Nancy Liu, live in Bakersfield, California. Thank you.
Yeah, that's crazy. We got one more clip that I'm going to play for y'all before we go into this press conference, but dang, that is pretty nutty.
Good morning from your 17 studios. I'm Lauren Holcomb alongside Anthony Vasquez. It is 8:23 a.m.
Breaking news just coming into our newsroom this morning. We're learning the suspect in the bomb threat standoff that has gripped downtown Bakersfield for the last 19 hours is dead. Police confirming minutes ago the suspect was shot by officers earlier this morning.
Our Zuli Cisneros has been out there all morning long, joining us live from downtown Bakersfield. Good morning, Zuli. What do we know?
Good morning. So the police did confirm that the hostages are safe, they're physically unharmed, and that the shooter is dead. They're calling it an officer-involved shooting with an FBI agent, but they're not giving any more details as far as who the suspect was or any of the details as far as how it ended. Traffic closures are remaining in place. You can see behind me that Truxton is flowing, and we just received word that the courthouses are still open. So if you need to get there, Truxton is the better way to go. And then 18th Street is also flowing. This chaos first broke at the Chase Bank yesterday afternoon. I was on the scene within minutes. Bakersfield police say a man walked into the bank yesterday with something that looked like a bomb strapped to his chest and told some people to get on the floor and that it was going to be their last day. Some people managed to escape, but others have been trapped inside since yesterday, nearly 20 hours. Police are not releasing the identity as of yet. We are hearing from officers that there may be a presser that they are going to have closer to 10 a.m. The hostage situation grinded everything to a halt since then. Local businesses shut down. Many of us are anxious to hear what they have to say. A big wave of relief from us in Bakersfield and across the nation that the hostages were okay. In downtown Bakersfield, Zuli Cisneros, 17 News.
And we're going to be live at 10 with the press conference going on downtown. Zuli, tell us how many police are still on the scene. I know you said traffic is starting to flow, but what are we seeing police presence-wise?
There's not really that much. Ever since around 5, they have just been streaming out, packing out. Much of the streets, when we were on it was completely empty, nothing but police. There was just maybe one car down at the end, and we saw an armored tank leaving. There's really just a handful of officers just making sure that people are avoiding the area because it is active. Do not cross that tape. They don't want you in that area while they're investigating the scene.
Zuli, something we know is that the hostages are okay, but do you know how many hostages were inside that Chase Bank building?
We don't know how many are inside. From people I spoke to yesterday, the number was as high as 15 to 20, but those are unconfirmed numbers, and we're hoping to hear that from the live presser later at 10 from the police.
This has been gaining national attention. We've seen stations from all over the country flocking to our backyard right now. What has it been like working around so many other people from across the nation? National attention coming right into our backyard.
It feels strange. We had people from LA over here. I heard from the photographer earlier that someone from the Associated Press was trying to get some shots of the Chase building behind us. So it's felt kind of surreal to grow up here and have this intense situation. I'm very thankful that it ended up that everyone was okay.
And Zuli, final question for you. Explain the traffic situation one more time. I know BPD has advised everyone to stay out of the downtown area.
Yeah, so traffic is actually going to be between trucks.
Okay, and so we already know about all that. So we're gonna continue on here, because obviously the end result is this: he gone. Like this dude gone. Okay, no longer exists. He has been eliminated. But let's take a look at this press conference so we can get more of an idea of what's going on. What they said is that allegedly he did not have. Like, what he had on was fake, which is wild. So the boom boom that was strapped to his chest was allegedly fake, okay? Strapped to his body, allegedly fake. Let's find out more information, shall we?
We are going to pull out of this because that press conference is getting underway. A man of FBI.
Sacramento field office. Please hold your questions for now. We will have 10 minutes for questions once the speakers are done. And also additional updates will be found on all of the BPD social media platforms. So for now, I'm going to introduce AC Blakemore.
Thank you, Sally. Good morning. Thank you all for attending. As Sally mentioned, my name is Jeremy Blakemore, Assistant Chief with the Bakersfield Police Department, and I'm happy to be here to give you an update on the status of yesterday's event. Today's press conference is intended to provide everyone with an update related to the event that began yesterday afternoon at the Chase Bank building just down the street from us here. But I'll preface it with the fact that this is still an ongoing investigation and there are still some details that we're not yet able to provide. Today's press conference will take place in two parts. First, I'll give you a refresher on what led up to us arriving at the location, and then Special Agent in Charge, Sid Patel from the FBI, will take the second portion where he'll touch on the elements of the FBI as well as how it concluded. First and foremost, I do want to let everyone know that we're incredibly relieved to report that all of the hostages that were involved have been safely recovered and reunited with their families. There were a total of 10 members of our community whose lives were changed yesterday. Unexpectedly, but we are thankful that they have been reunited with their loved ones after this ordeal. Throughout the night, their families questioned whether or not they would be seen again. But we are very grateful for the outcome and the fact that we've been able to protect their lives. Regarding the specific details that led up to this, at approximately 12:59 p.m. yesterday afternoon, we began receiving calls related to a suspect that was in possession of an explosive device who had entered the Chase Bank building at 1515 17th Street. As the situation unfolded, our responding personnel and dispatchers confirmed that the adult male suspect had barricaded himself within the second floor of the building and had taken several hostages. The suspect advised he had explosives attached to his person, which our personnel could see as well. He also told law enforcement that additional explosives had been attached to some of the hostages, which we confirmed based on our own observations. These hostages were confirmed to be employees of the Kern County Superintendent of Schools on the second floor of the building. Numerous other employees and patrons had fled the building during the suspect's takeover, and we immediately began evacuating a surrounding area establishments to minimize additional safety concerns to our community. While this was being done, we were simultaneously communicating with the suspect in an effort to release the hostages and elicit a peaceful surrender. During the negotiations process, we were able to secure the release of two hostages, the first being at 3:59 p.m. and the second being at 8:24 p.m. As the event continued, negotiations did stall, and the suspect refused to release any more victims. Given the nature of the circumstances and the resources, our department requested the assistance from the FBI, and we elected to transition our tactical teams for the remainder of the situation. The FBI assumed operational control at approximately 9:02 p.m. yesterday evening. And at this time, I'll turn it over to Special Agent in Charge, Sid Patel, and then I'll follow up with some concluding remarks at the end.
Thank you very much. My name is Sid Patel. I'm the Special Agent in Charge for the Sacramento FBI Field Office. This has been a horrific event. We know the Bakersfield community has been following the situation closely, and we thank you for your patience. Tuesday afternoon, June 2nd, at approximately 1:30 p.m., we received a call for assistance from the Bakersfield PD in response to reports of a bomb threat at the Chase Bank building located at the corner of Chester Avenue and 17th Street. We responded within minutes of that call. We have an office not too far from here, with more than 150 FBI personnel to assist. With this response and investigation, including our Special Weapons and Tactics, our SWAT teams, not just from our Sacramento SWAT team, but our LA SWAT team as well, our crisis negotiation teams, and our Los Angeles, Sacramento, and San Francisco FBI bomb techs that were here. We also had agents, analysts, victim specialists, professional staff, all trained for these types of incident responses that were here. The Bakersfield Police Department was supported with every available resource, including the FBI's hostage rescue team, which was deployed all the way from Quantico on the East Coast from its base of operations. They're our version of special forces for the FBI. They're the best of the best, and they come out for situations like this. Now, we refer to them as HRT, Hostage Rescue Team. The FBI HRT, they have extensive training and experience in crisis response and deployed to situations like this across the country and even internationally on some occasions. We're grateful for their quick response. The subject, his name was Anthony Scott Searles Harris. That's Anthony Scott, now spell the last name S-E-A-R-L-E-S Harris, H-A-R-R-I-S. He was a 41-year-old white male who served in the U.S. Army from 2006 to 2007. However, he was dishonorably discharged for going AWOL. That's absent without leave. He was no stranger to law enforcement and has a criminal history of using weapons to commit violent offenses. In 2014, he was charged with sex acts with a child under 14.
Yikes.
He's a registered sex offender. He had tied up 5 of the hostages on the 2nd floor of the Kern County Superintendent's of School office in the Chase building. At approximately 4 p.m., Harris released one of the 5 hostages. At approximately 8:30 p.m., he released a 2nd hostage. Bakersfield PD did an amazing job of this. Their negotiators, their SWAT teams, we were impressed. Fantastic work.
So wait, he was really, Tammy said he did get to text his daughter? What? He was texting his daughter throughout this whole thing? There are photos that are being released all over X. I don't know if it's the actual guy, but yeah, he is heavyset. You know what I mean? With all due respect, they said a heavyset man walked into the place, had a boom boom strapped to his chest, etc. So it could be the guy, but it could be any heavyset white guy. You know, you can just pick anything on the internet and just go, oh, that's the guy. But this is what people are saying out here. The internet is, they've been sleuthing, and there's been a lot of information out here about this guy. This is pretty crazy.
9 p.m., our FBI SWAT teams from Los Angeles and Sacramento, we transitioned and took over the crisis site, but working jointly with Bakersfield PD and our negotiators. At 2 a.m., after our hostage rescue team had arrived, put together all the site surveys and information that they do, they transitioned and took over the scene. That was around 2 a.m. At approximately 4:30 a.m. this morning, that's when the hostage rescue team neutralized this subject. And let me be clear, he had tied up 5 of the hostages, but there were 10 hostages in there, and they were all unharmed physically. I'm sure there'll be mental scars that they'll be living with, and we'll have our victim specialist to help them. We're grateful to the Bakersfield Police Department. I've got to tell you, in the 34 counties that we serve here in the Eastern District, they're one of our strongest allies. They have an amazing workforce here, led by Chief Brent Stratton, and Assistant Chief Jeremy Blakemore. Thank you for their partnership, their professionalism during the response to this incident and continued investigation. I can tell you, for the Bakersfield community, you should be proud of the police department and who serves and protects you every single day. I know I am. We also want to thank a lot of our federal partners. ATF, they came from San Francisco to help us out. The Homeland Security Investigations, also San Francisco-based. DEA, U.S. Marshals, Air Force OSI, the U.S. Attorney's Office, our local and state partners, California OES, Office of Emergency Services, CHP.
Thank you,
They've been strong
Mimi.
partners for us across the state.
Hit that like, y'all.
Sacramento County Sheriff's Department Bomb Squad, they flew down here to help us out. Kern County Sheriff's Department, Bakersfield Fire, they were here throughout the night. Great partners. EMS, Halls, Ambulance Service, they were also tremendous. And all the other local, state, and federal partners that were here. I mean, we had quite a bit of a response here. It was truly one team, one fight effort here.
Don't forget to thank God.
Our FBI personnel that live in the greater Bakersfield area and work in our Bakersfield resident agency, we have an office here not too far, like I mentioned, know how strong this community is. And we stand together as we heal from this incident. We also want you and the public to know how you can help us. If it's an immediate threat, of course, call 911. But if you have information about this ongoing investigation that can help us, reach out to us. Go to tips.fbi.gov or call us at 1-800-CALL-FBI. I'd like to turn it back now to Assistant Chief Blakemore. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. All right, at this time, we'll take some questions before doing some concluding remarks. Yes, ma'am.
If the explosive device was strapped to him, how did you know, how did the FBI know that it was safe to utilize the suspect with such a dangerous device strapped to him and also victims?
Sure. I'll turn it over in a second, but I can tell you from the perspective of the PD, there's a totality of circumstances that we're evaluating as these things are evolving, intelligence that we're gathering as it relates to some of the observations we had, some of the mannerisms he was doing, some of the things that we were hearing and seeing, but all of those things were taken into context. And the reality is, quite frankly, there was not a full confirmation in either direction. We always err on the side of caution in the sense of making sure that we're taking care of our victims in this case as much as we possibly can. But it was based on the circumstances that we had at the time that FBI chose to move in and make the tactical entry.
And did they enter the building, or was it from?
You want to come on?
Yeah, absolutely. Sure. Yeah, and so let me speak to that a bit more too, and I can answer the second question as well. So it's a holistic approach, right? The circumstances, how erratic is he, the individual. Keep in mind, we also had a hostage in there that we knew because the individual, she had her phone with her and was in communication with us until the phone died. And at one point, we were able to get medicine to her, but she was diabetic. And we knew that this was a loss of life situation for that particular hostage that was taken if we didn't act sooner than later. We also know because of the other circumstances and our trained professionals that of his behavior, we had to act at that point in time. And yes, the entry was made through the conversations they were having through the door and the negotiators that were working through there.
Question for you. What kind of explosives? How much are we talking about? And when negotiations stalled, suspects suggest that it was going to detonate.
So this is an ongoing investigation. We have to find other pieces, any potential other aspects to it, ideology, any of those pieces. I will tell you there were multiple IEDs that presented a concern for us that we had to evaluate and look into and have our bomb techs look over afterwards and make sure that they were inert or not plausible. But that's probably as far as I can go with that.
Were they functioning?
So we're still doing further testing on it, but we were able to conclude at this point in time that they were not a concern to us. We're still continuing with that investigative piece. There are aspects that were concerning to us, but we're continuing on with that analysis of what we were able to obtain from that search warrant.
Did you guys find any evidence in that man's house?
We found some concerning items in there from the investigative piece, but again, we're continuing to evaluate those and look further into it.
In regards to the negotiations for the first and second release, were there any demands made on that? Were they made in good faith? Was there any? What was the negotiation circumstances?
Yep, those first two releases, yes, there were. It was through Bakersfield PD, and yes, there were. If you want to take on some of that piece, but yes, there was.
I can touch on that. Yes, through the negotiation process, as you can imagine, there's obvious back and forth and dialogue. Yes, there's a lot of back and forth that's taking place during the dialogue and the negotiation process. In terms of what took place during these specific ones, there was discussions and exchanges related to food and water, those types of things. There was also some elements that were related to his previous court case and in terms of materials that he wanted to see. So we were able to provide some of that in exchange for getting a release of the hostages.
Was KCSOS the intended target you're looking for?
It's a good question. From what we can tell at this point, again, as it's been said, this is an ongoing investigation, but it does not appear that KCSOS was an intended target in any way in terms of the employee specifically, those types of things.
Did it have to do with bank then?
Do you know why that building was targeted?
It's still under investigation at this point.
Is law enforcement aware of the YouTube video the suspect made claiming his innocence?
Yes, we are. At least one video I'm aware of that we are.
Is there going to be a new investigation open to do it?
A new investigation in relation to what?
Why he's alleging being innocent?
At this point, it's part of the totality of the case that we're looking at anyway in terms of motive and those types of things. But I mean, his previous case history is being looked at, but I wouldn't suggest in the sense of nothing's being reopened in that sense.
Can you share more about the motive?
No, nothing that we have at this point that we can share beyond what we've already expressed.
Do we know that anybody was helping to make the license? That's going to be questionable.
At this point,
Pretty bad skin
we cannot
damage.
confirm that. We do not have anything that leads us to believe that there was anyone else directly involved at this moment.
Chief, the demands, the subject, what are the demands?
Most of it was directed toward conversations led us to believe that he was really concerned about his previous case history. There were specific elements that he was very frustrated, I think, as some have expressed on some of his social media things that he's released, that he had some concerns related to how his previous cases or case had been handled and what the aftermath of that was, his sentencing and those types of things.
What led to the FBI investigating the way to
No, I think I spoke to that earlier. It had to do with the hostage that was in there that we knew had health concerns, and there could have been a potential loss of life for that hostage, and just from the erratic behavior and how our trained professionals assessed the situation. It was the right time to do it. I'm sorry, what was that?
Was it decoy used in this operation?
So I can't speak to those particular details, right? And we usually don't speak to those details of our tactics and how we use it. But I can tell you that there's a lot of different tactics that can be used in this kind of situation. This was a little bit more upfront because we were in conversation with the individual, right? Physically there.
Secret?
What was that?
Was the phone used in secret, or did the suspect know that hostage was using that phone?
There were individuals in that location that were not fully aware to the subject.
Was the suspect demanding to see his daughter?
Target, then was he just trying to get your attention?
We'll find out more as we go forward with the investigation. I will tell you that at one point he had asked for early on that notoriety of having FBI involved as well and FBI negotiators. And so my assumption would be by targeting a bank or some federal institution, there's a greater chance to have, like a bank robbery, if there was the case, to have a federal intervention in that case. But we'll go with two more questions. So,
Was he demanding to see his daughter?
Unless, yeah, that's fine. Okay.
Was he demanding to see his daughter?
There was that was brought up in the conversation at one point, but there was not any communication that was taking place between him and his daughter.
Why were the hostages released?
It was based on the negotiations. Quite frankly, it was based on the successful negotiations that we had involving our personnel, again, working for hours, communicating with these folks.
About, you know? What made him release the hostage? Should he release?
It was, again, those ongoing conversations that we had related to exchanges of food and water and some of the materials from previous court cases.
So we're going to go ahead and wrap this up now. Thank you so much. As I said earlier, please go ahead and follow our social media for any additional updates. Thank you.
Thank you, Sal.
Okay, so you know, they gave us a few things, but they didn't give us a lot, right? So obviously, hopefully we get some more information. I don't know. There's a lot of rumor flying around, but we haven't heard anything. You know what I mean? We haven't heard anything from 5-0. You know what I mean? From local PD to confirm any of these other theories that have been kind of running amok right now. Okay. But yes, there is a video which I am going to pull up here. This guy, I don't know.
Update on the man who.
Hold on. I don't know this guy. You know, but this is something that I saw a little bit earlier before we went live on TikTok, and I was like, okay, well, we should definitely talk about this because I find it interesting. Okay. And yeah, labeled a monster definitely is something else. But this is from his name is JD Delay. I don't know who this guy is. With all due respect, not trying to be rude or anything. I just don't know this content creator. But I saw this in my feed, you know, scrolling through, and I thought this was interesting. And he talks about this as well. Okay, he talks about the labeled a monster in there as well. Let's take a listen to this.
Walked into Chase Bank in Bakersfield, California with a bomb strapped to his chest. Apparently, this isn't a bank robbery at all. So the man went in with a bomb strapped to his chest. He took 8 hostages. Apparently, he's released one of them. He has a bomb strapped to another one's foot, according to the police. But the reports that we're getting say that it's not money that this dude is after. Unconfirmed reports are saying that it is this man who was actually convicted of multiple child crimes and sent to prison for 12 years for it. Now, I cannot stress this enough. The police have yet to confirm whether it is or is not this man, but what we're being told is that it is somebody who said that they were wrongfully convicted and they are trying to clear their name.
Again, let me just repeat this one more time before we go into this labeled a monster thizang, okay? Let me just make this abundantly clear. If you're trying to, expose that you've been duped, that you've been bamboozled, that you've been wrongfully accused of any sort, going in to a bank and holding people hostage really doesn't help your cause. I'm really sorry. Like I said, you can sit here all day long and be like, I'm innocent. I's innocent. Don't you see? I's innocent. Why do you have a bomb strapped to your chest? I'm innocent. You see what I'm saying? It just, you're not, people are not listening. You see what I'm saying? They're not listening to you now. Now they're just looking at the boom boom strapped to your chest or your foot or your leg or your arm. Wherever you have it strapped to, doesn't matter. They're concerned. They're worried about their livelihood and they want to see and live and breathe another day. They're not going, oh my God, sweetheart, please tell me what you're being accused, wrongfully accused of, sweetheart. What is it? So Mama Ray J could help you out. Okay, come on, sit down right here. Okay, have some of Mama Ray J's sweet tea. It's real sweet. Your teeth might fall out, okay, honey? But go ahead, sit down. Tell me a little bit what's going on now. You've been wrongfully accused of what? You don't have time for that. You're looking at a boom boom strapped to the chest of a mother-loving monster at this point. Okay? They're not going to listen to you. So why would you do that? No one's going to listen to you. This is not John Q. Okay? Allegedly, the man was for damn show not mother-loving Denzel Washington. Okay? This is not like, hey, no, my son is going to get that transplant. I am not going to bury my son. My son is going to bury me. Right? Little Denzel Washington for that ass. You know what I'm saying? You know exactly what I'm talking about. So again, no, I don't see how you could sit there, have something strapped to your chest and being like, I'm innocent. No one's gonna listen to you. They're not listening to you. This ain't the movies. Oh, now maybe he was wrongfully accused. Let's find out. No one cares. They want to get the hell out. Okay? There's no John Q. There's no Kevin Spacey's. There's no what's his name? Now I'm forgetting. There's no Paul Giamatti's. Okay? You know exactly what I'm talking about, okay? It's not like suddenly the world's gonna go to social media and go, well, maybe we need to hear this guy out. No, they're gonna take you out. Period. And maybe in his mind, he thought he could I could change everybody's mind. You know? It's just, man. Okay, let's move on. Let's move on.
I'm also getting reports that this is the YouTube account of this person, labeled a monster, who claims to be a veteran and claims that they were wrongfully convicted in Bakersfield in Kern County, and their entire channel is about Kern County messing up convictions. Now, none of this information has been fully verified yet, but what we do know is that there is somebody in that bank with bombs strapped to him and 7 hostages right now, and that the FBI just rolled up with their SWAT team and a Bearcat. And I will keep you guys updated when...
Okay, and obviously he has been neutralized. He no longer exists. So whatever he was trying to attempt to do, which was either to get people's attention or something of that sort, it ain't happening. Yeah, it ain't happening anymore. Because we are finding out allegedly the boom booms that were strapped to his chest, or strapped to his body at least, are not real either. So he went in there, caused a ruckus, made everybody scared out of their minds, praying to whatever gods they're praying to, only to find out that the whole thing was a fugazi, and that he's just an unhinged individual with a fake switch. And that's it. Like I said, as much as you sit here going, oh yeah, you know, I'm innocent, don't you see? I'm innocent. It doesn't change anything. It doesn't change the fact that you got a boom strapped to your chest. Whether it's real or fake, you're going out of your way to do something as diabolical as this. Here's the other thing too. He's also lying about the boom that's strapped to his chest. So if he was to survive and he was going to get locked up and everything, do you really think people would believe him after the fact? You ran into a bank, threatened everybody's lives by lying to them about a boom strapped to your mother-loving chest. Think about that for a second. So if he's willing to lie about that, what are the chances of him lying about being caught being a PDF fizzile? Think about that for a second. But I'm sure everybody and their mama. No, Ella, I'm not going to bring up the documentary. I don't feel right playing it. I've never seen it. I'd need to see it first to make sure, because I don't want to put anything out there. You see what I'm saying? And you know how these platforms be. In no time, that platform, his channel is going to be taken down, because God knows what's being said in those videos that could incite other people to do things. So again, I'm not playing it. Here's the thing. We will never, ever know if he's innocent or not. Why, you ask? Because he's gone now. Because he took matters in his own hands in a way that no one should ever do to try to get his own version of justice. And guess what? He's never going to see that justice. Now he's just being labeled and looked at like a psycho crazy person. Doesn't matter if he's innocent or not. We will never fully know now. See what I'm saying? Come on now. This is why he gone. Hate to say it like that, but bad choices. And he lied. And now got him deleted. So now you got to wonder, were those charges, those convictions that he got, were they true? Were they right? Were they just convictions of him being a PDF file? Something to think about, guys. Definitely something to think about. Now, apparently there's something else that's going on. I don't know. There's some serious presence going on. There's a large presence going on. Let me just make sure I'm not losing my mind here. Hold on. Yeah, it's still going on. It's still ongoing. I don't know what's going on, but apparently this is going on in Ohio. Yeah, now we're on the other side of the freaking world, which we're going to look into just briefly, because I'm still kind of wondering what in the actual F is going on here. But there's apparently some stuff going on in Mentor, Ohio. Let's take a look at this. Huge police presence, okay? It looks like SWAT's in the house and everything, okay? Or outside the house, all right? But let's take a look at this really, really quick, okay? Hold on. There's some news coverage here. Let me just scoot ahead. Where the heck is it? Yeah, it's consoling a lady outside. Something's up. Here we go.
Good afternoon. I'm Dan DeRose with 19 News. I want to jump in on this breaking news in Menor here and the situation we're looking at. We don't have a lot of details at this point. We have been watching police interact with that woman you see there walking towards the vehicle. We're not sure if this is a standoff situation. We have seen a lot of tactical gear being brought to this home. It's on Orchard Road in Menor. In fact, as we watch these pictures, I'll be able to bring up a map to show you exactly where we're talking about. It's really not far off the lake there in Menor. If you've ever heard of the Menor Headlands Park, that's this area. That red bullet point there is in the general area. We're talking about the 4700 block of Orchard Road. That street there towards the middle is where we're talking about. But we know the police have been at this home, in this neighborhood, since about 11 o'clock today. But what we don't know is what brought police to this specific home. Was there an incident at the home? Was there an incident somewhere else that brought police to this exact location? But again, we've got a crew there, and we've been watching a pretty large police presence surrounding a home, again on Orchard Road in Menor. We've been given some information that isn't confirmed at this point, so we're not going to go with that at this point. But if the two incidents are connected, this would end up being an extremely serious situation in Menor. Unfortunately, we can't give you anything more than that at this point, other than we are watching this situation play out on Orchard Road. It started around 11 o'clock. Police appear to have a home surrounded in that area. So what we're going to do is we're going to leave this shot up. We're going to keep monitoring.
I'm gonna skip ahead.
In Menor, it's the Menor Headlands Park area. We have some information that's not confirmed yet, and so we're not going to report that. But there are two different scenes in Menor. One is the live pictures you're looking at here with police surrounding a home. There is a second scene that we're not going to divulge the details just yet because we don't have them confirmed.
We're going to skip ahead and see if he confirms.
Good afternoon. I'm Dan DeRose with 19 News. If you're just joining us, we are watching a SWAT situation.
SWAT is outside this person's crib. This is insane.
A standoff situation at a home
and
in
a standoff.
Menor. This is on Orchard Avenue. According to city officials, a person driving an SUV near the Headlands Beach hit two bicycle riders and left them injured. That driver then took off to this neighborhood and has barricaded themselves inside this home. We keep hearing the loudspeaker say the name Michael. They're trying to negotiate with a Michael inside this home. We've heard them say they have an arrest warrant for him. And then we keep hearing that woman's voice saying, Michael, we know you're scared and don't know what's going on. We just want you to come out so we can talk to you. So we're going to continue to follow this. As you see, SWAT is in position. They've got a couple of tactical vehicles in the driveway and front yard of that home.
That's crazy.
The one vehicle has sort of that long pole or ram on the front of it that you can see sticking out, and that ram can be used to push open a door, a window, but then it can also be used to shoot in perhaps a canister of tear gas or another device. They haven't gone to that route yet, but they are clearly concerned for the well-being of a man named Michael inside that home. So we're just going to continue to listen in as we keep seeing the SWAT officers raise their weapons as if they are close to making a move.
This is crazy. Yeah, we're gonna keep an eye on that for sure. some serious ish going down on that, for real. But yeah, I wanted to share that with y'all, because obviously that's something that's going on right now as we speak. That is pretty crazy. I will say that. That is pretty crazy. But we have got to get into, because there's a bunch of other things that are going on. Okay, so the Karmelo Anthony trial is happening right now, or not the trial. The jury selection is happening all day today. There have been some updates from a content creator, so I wanted to share a little bit of that update with you guys, because obviously we need to talk about that too. Just let me just get that here really quick too. And this is, like I said, there's a lot going on. Okay. There's a lot going on. Okay. We got a lot to talk about. So let's get straight into this. Let's take a look at some updates from, actually, my bad. I made a mistake. Before we go into that, where is it? We have got to get into this. Now, I just talked about this in a short just a little bit ago, a few hours ago, but I do want to circle back and talk about this. There was already talks of possible jury tampering. Yes, guys. So allegedly, there has been alleged jury tampering over the last day or two. Okay. Now they were not in court. Court was not in session yesterday. All right. Let me just make that abundantly clear. Court was not in session yesterday, but they were still doing, court was still in session, if that makes any sense. They were still trying to figure out who they want to keep, who they want to get rid of, as far as jurors and all that, so that today, when they go through basically the chopping block, the cutting process of this jury selection process, they are ready to do opening statements first thing tomorrow morning. So today they had like 250 some odd jury hopefuls coming in to basically audition for the role of a juror. Okay. So now they're going to have to dwindle that down to, 12 jurors and a couple of alternatives, right? Or a couple of alternates, right? Now, this is from Sarah Fields. Now, we just talked about Sarah Fields, in a couple other lives a few lives ago. She has been somebody who's been doing some serious coverage on Karmelo Anthony in this Austin Metcalf case. Now, I will make this abundantly clear. She is definitely on the side of, Karmelo Anthony should get justice served to him, that this was malicious, this was not self-defense, and this kid should be locked up for the rest of his life. This is just her opinion, okay? So I want to make that abundantly clear because, again, there may be things that she is saying that some people might be thinking she is putting in her own bias in this thing, and I feel like she does put in her own opinion in her stuff. So I would just say, and she feels very strongly about where she stands with this Karmelo Anthony kid and this trial and what should be coming to this Karmelo Anthony, right? So I just want to make that abundantly clear. She is definitely, there's been some stuff over time, okay? Some would say, she has agitated some people. Some would say she's just speaking the truth. I leave that up to you guys right there. But I'm just going to say she's one of the few that are actually going to their Twitter, to their X account, and giving us a breakdown of what they're seeing, okay? So just like I'm saying, or just like I'm going to say for everybody that's coming in and reporting, straight out of that courtroom, you got to take it with a grain of salt, okay? Because there is bias all over this mug, okay? But there is something here that I think is very important, okay? She described going into the first day and all that. But here is where it got very interesting about this possible, this alleged jury tampering of the jury, which is something I find interesting because I've not seen mainstream media talk about this at all. I do want to make that abundantly clear. Mainstream media has not talked about this at all, and I'm wondering why. Did they not see it? Did this fly under a radar and it was never, and mainstream media didn't see this at all? That's just something I find very interesting. Okay? But nonetheless, this is what's being reported from someone who people are relying on as far as getting the proof, getting the information. Okay? So I just want to make that abundantly clear, because I've been looking everywhere. I'm like, Karmelo Anthony trial, jury tampering, blah, blah, blah. I have not seen anybody else talk about this. So I think that's very interesting. Either she was just the only person in the room or in this place during this moment. I don't know, but I haven't heard anybody else talk about this. Not yet, at least. So let us get into it. So she says here, a short time later, I witnessed sheriff's deputies escorting an African-American woman out of the courthouse hallway. She was wearing a pink shirt with lace sleeves. Deputies were accusing her of jury tampering. I later learned she was allegedly connected to the Anthony family and had reportedly been caught recording members of the jury pool. First off, I want to make this abundantly clear. I meant to hit that. I want to make this abundantly clear, okay? I want to make this absolutely clear. What was she? Okay, first off, no. Okay? If you're trying to intimidate jurors, potential jurors, if you are doing jury tampering, you don't do that. Don't do it. Because at the end of the day, this kid won't get a fair trial. And you want a fair trial on both sides of the fence. Remember, if he's exonerated, if he's acquitted of these crimes, you want to feel that he had a full, fair trial for both sides, whether he's exonerated or acquitted or not. Okay? Because here's the thing. What if there was jury tampering and then he gets off? He gets acquitted. The whole other side of the world is going to be so mad. There will be race riots in the streets. People will lose their minds. I'm going to be real. It's already getting divided out here in these streets. We're going to be looking at that here in a little bit too. It's already bad out in the streets. People are driving by, yelling things at people, so on and so forth. Okay? It is really, really bad. So it needs to be fair 110%. So no matter what, if it is somebody connected to the Anthony family or not, this kid needs to have and deserves to have a fair, unbiased trial. We cannot have outside sources flying in and trying to manipulate the situation, trying to make things worse, trying to, move the verdict in the direction that it will suit them and their own particular political narrative or their political bias. That's not right. At the end of the day, there needs to be a fair trial, because at the end of it all, if they find out that there's tampering, people will lose their minds. And if it is done by a person on one side, right? On either side of these polarizing sides, people will lose their freaking mind. Okay? So again, Becky Hill. Yeah, Becky Hill with a little more melanin. Yeah, it's not good. Then also at the same time, it could be a mistrial before the trial even gets started. And then you got to wait another, you know what I mean? Then you got to start it all over again. And it's already been a year, well over a year, since Ausitn Metcalf lost his life. Since Karmelo Anthony said, I did it, but it was out of self-defense. So at the end of the day, come on now. This is not the time to be doing that, okay? So again, if this is true, don't know if it is true, but if it is true about this jury tampering, that's not a good start. It's not a good start to this trial. And if other people are reporting this, which they clearly are, they're going to take this and it's going to land on the ears of the wrong kinds of people. And it also could start problems in the streets, in the outside the courthouse. And we ain't got time for that. It needs to be peaceful, but it's already starting to get bad out here in these streets. We're going to be seeing that in just a little bit. Okay. So again, like I said, that is a huge problem to me. If that is true, that is huge. That is a huge, massive problem. And everyone needs to keep they need to keep their freaking hands to themselves and stop sticking their nose in this business. Let the courts run what they need to run. Here's the other piece too. If they're not allowed to have cell phones, cameras, digital devices, only a pen and paper, what was she recording these alleged jury pool people with? Did she have a burner, a second phone on in her hands? Did she have a digital camera in her pocket that she was able to get through security with? What was she recording these potential jurors with? Was she just simply writing people's, black hair, white shirt, blue jeans, scar over his, under his left eye or something like that? Was that what they were doing? See, that's the other thing too. Meta glasses, they make you take them off even if it remotely looks like meta glasses. So was she able to just kind of, get around? Somebody said pen cams. Pen cams for real, Allie? But like I said, it's like, that's insane. That's really insane and a really, really bad look. But here's the thing. Are we sure that it was this woman was connected to the Anthony family, or was she just somebody who wants justice for Karmelo? That doesn't mean that just because this woman is black does not automatically mean she is part of the Anthony family. She could literally just be somebody who just wants justice for Anthony and happens to be black too. Every person that's out there in the streets, okay, every black person that's out there in the streets hitting hand drums and chanting, justice for, free Karmelo, justice for Karmelo and all that, they're not all family. Just because they got melanin in their skin does not automatically mean they are a family member of Karmelo. Just saying. So she could have been doing this, exactly, Tammy. She could have been doing this all on her own and got caught. But at the same time, we got to take what, reporters are saying. We just got to take it for what it is, right? And hopefully we find out more information. Now, I do want to go over to Neek at Night. She gave a little bit of a breakdown during the lunch break. And I think, there's just a lot to dissect. Let's take a listen to what she had to say.
And he was shook. You could tell he was shook. Like, he didn't know, oh my God, like, what's going on? A flip narrative. But until they opened the courtroom at about 8:30, and they asked us to start lining up. Once we started to line up, there was a woman who decided to, even though there was us that came before her, stand in the front of the line. And I just rightfully took my rightful position, which was first, and stood first. She made some type of wow statement as if she didn't know that she did not come before me and that it was first come, first serve, as emphasized heavily by the public information officer. But that's neither here nor there. I'm sure it'll be a story made about it, a flip narrative, but that's what happened in case, people lie. Anyways, Moving on, we went into the courtroom at 8:30. We sat down and we waited just a little bit for the monitors to come on. Now, once the monitors came on and the TVs, the audio, everything came through, the first thing I noticed was Carmelo Anthony had cut his hair. He looked visibly nervous. You can like tell that he was like on edge, like he was just sitting in his chair and he was looking around. You could see that he was taking like heavy, deep breaths, like like I can't hear him, but looking at the thing, you can tell like he was nervous. So the setup that we saw on the TV monitor was the prosecution, their table was to the left, the prosecution's table was to the right, the defense was to the left. It was about 4 on each side. And basically what happened was, and Uncle, step a little closer so you can see the chat. You guys can still hear. He was shook. You could tell he was shook. Like he didn't know, like, oh my God, like what's going on? He had on a navy blue suit and he had a navy blue tie. And from looking at the screen, I couldn't tell if his shirt was either a light pink or a light lavender, but I could tell it wasn't white. It looked like it was like a very light pink or very light lavender. His hair was cut, so he has a very, very, very low cut. I don't know if you call it a fade, if it's not like faded on the sides. I'm not really versed in that, but
Probably a Caesar, but let's move on.
I just know that it was a very low, maybe number 1. What's the number 1? All the way down? He had like a number 1 or anyways, he had a very low cut all the way around, edged up. And with his hair cut very low, he looks very little, like very, very scrawny and little. He looks like a kid. Like a lot of the jurors mentioned that he looked like a child as well. And the prosecution wanted to know if, because of his age, would they have a problem with sentence?
First off, just so you know, Negan Knight doesn't live in Texas at all. So she flew all the way out here to be a part of this and cover this. I think, if I'm correct, I don't know, but I think her uncle actually lives in town and he is there also. I believe he is there for protection as well. So yeah, she's not rolling solo dolo right now. And she brought family with her. Nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong with it. You know what I'm saying? It's low budget journalism at its best. You use what you got. But shout out to Neek at Night, by the way. And let me just say that really quick. She does some really, really fantastic work. And there's a lot of times that our show, her topics and my topics will kind of cross, you know what I mean? We'll just kind of weave in and out because there's a lot of cases like this one that we're covering, that she's covering. So she does a really, really great job. So show her some love. Make sure you go over there and subscribe to her channel and all that. But let's continue.
Think him, and a lot of jurors said because he looks like a child, they would not feel comfortable sending him away for the rest of his life. There were several people who made those statements. There were several people who made statements based on they don't know if they can send a brother to jail. It was a black man. I'm like, whoa, I mean, they want you to be honest, but good Lord, like, what are you doing? They're going to kick you off the jury. But anyways, so there was like 2 African-American men that I remember basically saying that they wouldn't feel comfortable sending an African-American man to jail. And the prosecution was just vetting, like, even if you heard the evidence, even if, this or that, would you be able to decide based on facts? And there was a couple of people who were like, no. And then people who were not even African-American, I feel like the majority, I only heard 2 black voices that I can recall. But, a voice is just a voice. It could have been other black people on the jury. By voice, I could tell that it was at least 2 that I heard speak. Every single juror did not speak. There was 449 people in that room. The prosecution made sure that we basically knew that, listen, it's a lot of y'all in here. Everybody's not going to be able to speak. And one of the first things he said was, I want you guys to speak up. And the people that speak up the most, just being honest, like y'all probably ain't going to be the ones that make it on the jury, but I want to know how y'all are feeling. So he kind of came off joking. He was very likable. The prosecution, I'm talking about his charisma, like he had a lot of charisma. He was making a lot of jokes. And it was a stark contrast from the judge. So the judge, when everything first started, I think he asked the jurors, like, if there was anything that they had to say or something along those lines. And one juror stood up. It was I don't know if his race matters. It was a white guy. He stood up and he said that he forgot that he had a subpoena. And he was like, oh, hey, I forgot that I had a subpoena. And the judge was like, I don't care about your subpoena. Sit down. And I was like, ooh, that was kind of rude. He was rude.
But here's the other thing too. I'm gonna be real, okay? I'm gonna be real. He could have been saying that to try to get out of this trial. That guy. Oh, I forgot I have a subpoena. You know what I mean? Oh, suddenly I forgot I have gout in my left foot. So sorry, you can't draft me to for this. Can't even draft me for the Vietnam War. I got gout. He can't, you know what I'm saying? Bone spurs, whatever the hell it is. So again, maybe the judge is like, yeah, I've heard that a million times. Sit your ass down. Nice try, brother. Sit your ass down. It's not going to change anything. Sit your ass down. So maybe that's what the case was. You know what I mean?
The judge was rude. And the guy was like, he sat down. So when the prosecutor came up, it was a huge contrast because he came off likable. He talked about, his background. He was making jokes. He was coming off like understanding. And he was the type of person that, if you committed a crime and they get you in that interrogation room, oh, it's okay. Just tell me what happened. He gave off like, oh, tell me how you feel. Like, yeah, we just want to know. But it's like, you telling him exactly how you feel is going to get you kicked off, or it could be the thing that sends you to jail. But he came off like one of those type of people that, he can get people talking and warm up to him. And that's what he was doing, like getting a lot of the jurors warmed up and expressing how they truly felt. And I'm going to go over everything that I wrote later on, but just to point out some of what's happened today. Let's go. Okay, so the prosecution, I wrote a note and I said, the judge is extremely rude. I said, he's extremely rude. Karmelo is extremely nervous. He's breathing, taking deep breaths, and he's looking around. Then the prosecution came up. His name was Dewey Mitchell. He was at a table where it was 4 of them, including him. And he said that he was the assistant district attorney. He said he came from a little town in Oklahoma, says he's never been the smartest person in the room, and wants to be clear about what we're doing today. The judge spoke about being fair. He says that, and so basically he referenced a joke, or what the judge tried to make as a joke on Monday. The judge basically said, hey, I think everybody on the road should go 55 miles an hour, and I don't think anybody should go over 55 miles an hour. And he was saying something along those lines. And the start.
Hold on real quick. Thank you so much, Vic. Welcome to the family, Vic. Thank you so much. Welcome to the family, okay? And just like Vicky, please consider becoming a member by hitting that join button down below. Don't forget to hit that like button down below, please, as well. Okay, let's continue on, though.
Of it, the prosecution was like, he said, well, I just want you guys to know I'm fine with people going 70 miles an hour, So he was kind of referencing something that the judge has said the prior day. And he said that, he feels like that's fine being the speed limit. So he then goes on and he says that his job was to talk about, if somebody is accused of a crime, he wants to make sure that they have a fair trial. And he said that, the probability, he said, we got juror number 2 right here in the front, and then we got juror number 449 all the way in the back. He said the probability of juror 449 making it on the juror, I'm paraphrasing, by the way, because I was taking quick notes. But in so many words, he was basically saying, like, the probability of juror 449 making it on the jury is probably not going to happen, but you still got to pay attention. So he was just letting them know that even though all of you guys are here, and there's 449 of them in that room from the 600 that they originally started with, and all of them are not going to make it, but they still have to pay attention. Another thing that he stated was that they are going to have alternates in the jury, and that they will not know who the alternates are. So each juror will act as if they are on the official jury, and they won't know until the end if they are selected to be an actual juror or not. So he then goes on to say, he was asking basically, like, he wants people to answer truthfully. And he started to talk about his kids. So he said that he had 2 kids, and he started talking about a baseball game. And he was using this analogy of a baseball game to say, sometimes he was basically saying, like, we are a community or whatever. And so he said that he asked if there was any baseball parents. He talked about his kids. He said that the team that his kids play for was bad. And he said that if they lose a game, they had to play early the next day. And he said that, they're basically a community. We all come as a community. And he was wondering how age will play into their decision. He wanted to know how does race play into their decision. And his fear is, he said he feared how he would approach age and race and all of those things. And he was like kind of nervous about talking to them about these things. And he said that he wants them to speak up. And he said that if they speak up, they got a better chance of not making it on the jury. And then let's see. He said that, okay, so he said for a fair trial, you have to presume from the start that the defendant is innocent until they prove their case. He said he has to be the one to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that the defendant committed the crime that they say that they committed, and they have to presume them innocent until they are proven otherwise based on the law and based on the evidence.
Now, I want to point this out, though. I can see how I can see how the jury, when they hear that, they may go, well, then it sounds like as soon as they get this trial started, they're going to be like, well, he said he did it. You see what I'm saying? Like, and I get what prosecution's saying, right? But that's pretty much what they're trying to, like formulate before the actual trial starts. Hey, look at him as an innocent kid. You don't know anything about this trial or about this case. Look at him. He is innocent until proven guilty. And when we present what we present, then you can start figuring out what the verdict's going to be. But at the end of the day, I feel like a lot of the jury is going to, this is just me, what I'm feeling in my gut, okay, is that the jury's going to be like, well, he did admit saying that he did it. And I think that is either going to be the thing that has the jury say he's guilty by a landslide, or is going to cause a huge, huge debate in the deliberation room when the trial is officially over and all they got to do is deliberate, right? But I digress. Let's continue.
Also stated that basically, whether or not you committed a crime before, like let's say you have a history of going around beating people up. And in this particular case, I'm just using my own analogy. This particular case, you go and you beat somebody up. That doesn't determine whether you're guilty or innocent in this case. The only thing that determines whether you're guilty or innocent in this case is if you're actually guilty based on the law and the evidence. So he kept referring to the pre-existing history, or like whether they had it or didn't have it, or whether they were innocent and never committed a crime before. That doesn't matter. What matters is the crime that they did commit, and that's what's before them today. So after that, and let me check hold on, I gotta come off camera real quick. I just kind of want to check in with y'all to make sure, do y'all hear me? Y'all hear? Because my uncle ain't saying nothing. He just,
let me send up messages.
Okay, yeah, I don't see the comments. Where'd it go? Okay, sound is good. Ground, thugging it out. I have a Cash App. They got my commentary. Somebody's yelling and cursing. Oh.
Yeah, so then there's this that happened too.
Somebody calling somebody a bitch and all kind of. I don't know what's happening, but it just got real.
And I'm going to say, get ready for a lot of this kind of crap, okay? There's going to be a lot of this kind of crap. It's only going to get worse because the trial officially starts tomorrow. If they get everything done and they figure out who did what, who is going to be in the jury pool and all that stuff, this is only going to start getting more and more worse and worse as the weeks go on. I'm just telling you right now. But people are now yelling at people that are out there, groups that are out there on behalf of Karmelo or not on behalf of Karmelo. It's all bad. I'm going to slow this down to normal speed.
He drove off. I'm going to ask them what happened. Ooh-wee, child, it's hot.
It's Texas.
Here come the sheriffs. Can I ask y'all what happened?
I'll let you speak one of the spokespeople.
Hi, y'all.
How are you doing?
Hi. What happened? What did he say? He said that y'all was being racist.
We were doing it. We see that. What you doing? He got his kids with him. Bring our dairy.
What did he say?
What did the man say? He got White lives matter too. White lives matter too. He said y'all just being racist.
Boy.
Oh, okay.
Here we go.
Are you guys with an organization or anything?
And for the family. Advocating for big black
Okay.
black children lives matter.
Yeah. Can you talk to the people real quick, or do you feel? She said no. Is there anybody that want to speak?
They acting like they following it. But you antagonized them? Yes, they could.
That T-shirt is crazy, son. You see that T-shirt? That T-shirt is crazy, son. Yo. That is crazy. Damn. That's gonna spark some stuff. That if that shirt doesn't say Division, you know, I don't know what. I don't know what. I don't even know what. That's crazy. That shirt is that's crazy, son. Moving on. Wow.
Okay, I'm gonna go back. Yeah, I have a YouTube platform. I was just trying to document accurately everything that's going on, and
They were just harassing. Yeah, they were just harassing. He was the second one. Another guy, he couldn't hardly talk, but he tried to do a drive-by. It's all the energy because I'm out here. Because the four of us are out here, so it's gonna be a lot of energy. Yeah, they already looked at our license plates. They know who out here, so they just been getting it.
you guys been covering the case and stuff. No.
I haven't, but they haven't.
You know what I want to know is what's up with the white dude over there. I'm just saying. You don't see the guy taking a drink? He chilling. He got his dog. He chilling. You don't see the white guy over there? And then you got this guy wearing this shirt. And you know what I mean? Like, what's going on here? I'm so confused. He's very comfortable. They ain't bothering him none. You see what I'm saying? Crazy.
Oh, okay.
And he's got a body cam. The guy with the shirt, with the saying, he's got a body cam on his shirt. He got a little camera on him. So, yeah, just some random white guy over there. I don't know. Maybe he's with them. I don't know. But it just seems like he wouldn't be with them. I mean, with the shirt. You see what I'm saying? He might be white. Yeah, he could be white pepper. You know what I'm saying? But all I'm saying is, like, you know, what's up with that? You feel me? This okay. We've seen enough of that. Okay. But shout out to Nika Knight, because we're gonna be looking at a lot of her stuff as the trial continues. Oh, yeah, the dog is chilling. That dog was chilling. He wasn't worried about nobody. Okay. That dog is truly colorblind. You get it? Okay. Yeah, he truly colorblind. He's like, shoot, I'm gonna lay right here. It's too damn hot. This fur on me. Shoot. Okay. You go drink your water, boss, my owner. While I just sit here. All this racial tension going on. Just yeah. That's just crazy. That's just crazy. But moving on though, okay? Because there are more things. Hold on. Because the tension is high. The tension is very, very, it's thick. Okay? And yeah, they're demonstrating outside. They're peacefully protesting. They're peacefully protesting.
Self-defense is not a crime. 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 Self-defense is not a crime.
Self-defense is not a crime. Self-defense is not a crime. Self-defense is not a crime.
So you got that going on. And that was 3 hours ago. All right. Let's see what's this. What is this?
Cleared out.
Just more stuff going on.
So it appears that most of the Karmelo protesters have cleared out. I don't know. They might have gone to lunch. There's still a couple of trucks here. They might have gone to lunch. They might be back. Let's see.
I mean, the trial, like the jury selection ain't over. Okay? The jury selection is not over yet. It is still ongoing right now as we speak. So hold on. Let's see. This is another content creator. Queen Sheba is giving an update on what happened what's going on outside. This is at 11:28 a.m. Okay, it's during lunchtime.
All right, everybody, welcome. This is day 2 of the Karmelo Anthony trial. And if you can't see, we are live at the Collin County Courthouse right behind me. So they have gotten the jury selections underway. And let me tell you what's happening right here in real time. The jurors are pushing back. There were quite a few jurors that said they're not comfortable. This is a kid. They don't feel comfortable giving him life. They don't feel comfortable sending him to prison for 5 years. You had juror number 142 says, I am not comfortable giving or sending a brother to prison. You had white women that are saying, this is a child. He needs to learn. He made a horrible mistake. But sending him to prison for the rest of his life will not allow him to learn. You had white men saying, I can't do it. Even if you selected me, I'm not going to issue him a punishment. So the prosecution took the floor first. Both sides get 1 hour and 45 minutes. And so far, I'm going to tell you, it's not looking good. Many of the people, I don't know if they're just trying to get out of jury duty or what, but they're saying I don't want to do it. He's a kid. How old is he? So just stay tuned. I'll be back to give you more of
That is insane. Yo, that's actually kind of shocking and surprising, y'all. Yeah, there are people out here, there are jurors that are basically saying like, no, I'm not okay with sending this kid to life behind bars. That's actually surprising. But again, it could be one of those things where it's like, yeah, I got gout. I got bone spurs. I'm gay. I like the men's. You know what I'm saying? Like anything to not do it, to not do jury duty. So it's like, I'm just going to say everything that they don't want to hear in here. No one's gone full tilt racist, though, from what we understand so far. It's not like, damn right, you should, you know what I mean? Just because he's black. They haven't gone that route. But they have said, no, I can't just lock up this kid for life. I'm not okay with that. Hail to the no, right? But that is interesting. Yeah, there are black jurors. There were some black jurors that were saying, I wouldn't be okay with putting a brother behind bars, a young brother behind bars. And then she even said there were white people, even white women, that were sitting there saying, I'm not okay with locking up Karmelo Anthony for life. Shocking information. That doesn't change anything. The inevitable is coming to him. Whether he's found guilty or not guilty, they're going to find their jury. They are. It's not like they're sitting there going, oh, damn it, now we got to figure out how to find at least 12 jurors. We just don't know what to do here anymore, sir. Your Honor, there's not enough people. No, they're going to find their people. Okay? They are. But there are people in here saying they're just not okay with it. I get it. It is shocking, though. I kind of expected a little bit of the opposite. But here are more protesting going on.
Self-defense is not a crime. 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 Self-defense is not a crime.
Okay, so you heard that. Moving on. Jake Lang. Jake Lang, he gonna try everything he can to be, I don't even know, relevant? Is that what he's trying to do? I don't know. He is a piece of freaking work. Take a look at this guy. This piece of trash. Okay, remember Jake Lang? Because we don't need to go back and take another trip down memory lane. Okay, we really don't. But at the same time, he's just trying so hard to stay relevant out here. Okay, day 2 of jury selection for Austin Metcalf murder trial in Frisco, Texas. He's already, he says a whole bunch of stuff, and he's saying that he deserves the DP. So let's hear what this piece of trash got to say now. Yeah, we're gonna see. There's gonna be a lot of Jake Lang this trial until he actually gets arrested and gets locked up for something bigger. Because you know for a fact he's going to do something again. Yeah, Messi, he did get arrested just the other day, just like a day or two ago. But at the same time, they're going to lock him up, you know what I mean, for like a day, and then he gets thrown back out. I mean, that's just how he is, because he's a freaking dumbass. Okay? Yeah, Trey, you got that. Memory Lang. Thank you. You guys got to stay on your toes with me. You never know where I'm going to go. You never know where I'm going to go. I'm too fast. I'm too quick. Okay? I'm too pretty. Let's go into this.
Guys, we're here on day 2 of the Karmelo.
Why does he kind of sound like Trump in a way, but like young? Does he not sound a little bit like Trump? You know what I mean? Does he not? Okay. Let me just go back. Let me play it again.
Guys, we're here on day 2 of the Karmelo Anthony murder trial of young, innocent Austin Metcalf, a white student of Frisco High School that was violently stabbed in the heart without any provocation and murdered on scene at the Frisco High School Kendall Stadium. We were here last year advocating against this man who has been given bond. He's been home for almost a full year, sitting on his couch eating Cheetos as Austin Metcalf's blood is calling for justice. We should accept nothing less than the death penalty for Karmelo Anthony. Stand with your white brothers. It is time we stand up and unite. God bless America. Justice for Austin Metcalf.
Okay, so again, I'm wondering if Papa Metcalf is going to be coming up and being like, I told you to stop using my son's likeness for your trash. Remember last year, we already saw that video. He basically said, we do not have any association with you whatsoever. And the fact that he's put up, like other faces, including Charlie Kirk on this flyer, I see a lawsuit coming for this dude. He's so dumb. He's so dumb. That man is so dumb. But remember, at some point, he about to get got. That's just all I'm going to say. Okay? That is somebody who just has no care in the world. So it's all coming for him. All right? But let us continue on. So again, jury selection has happened or is happening right now. It should be, there's only a few more hours until they recess. They adjourn for the day, I'm sorry. And then tomorrow is the big day. All things will be going down. Like things will be going down starting tomorrow. And I think that there's going to be a uptick of presence, okay, of all types of groups. You got the BLMs to the white supremacists, to the everybody. I think that it's gonna get even more insane out in the streets. This is bad. This is gonna be bad. I just feel like potentially, race war type stuff could be happening. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Okay. Yeah, JLK. Yeah. Wait. Charlie Kirk got shot by never mind. Yeah. Yeah, that was that. You know, as some racists would be like, oh, see, that's just black on black crime. So that would be white on white crime too, right? Because Tyler Robinson happens to be white. Just pointing something out. It's just facts. So again, I don't know. I don't know, because that whole thing is, yeah, white lives matter. And he lost his life allegedly at the hands of Tyler Robinson. So, and Tyler Robinson, he Caucasian. His legacy, his lineage comes from the Caucasus Mountains, love. So I don't know. You know, did I mention that Jake Lang is a dumbass? Yeah. I just want to make sure you guys know that he's just dumb. And I keep saying, why can't we just see what's going to happen with this trial and what they're going to present in the trial? Let's see the evidence. He did say he did it. That is the biggest, for me, that's the biggest piece. He did say he did it. Now, what actually happened before he actually did this thing? Because I don't think he's going to walk away with, like, I don't think he's going to walk out free as a bird. He's still going to get charged with something. It may be something of a lesser charge. You see what I'm saying? He may be convicted of something smaller, but he ain't going to, you know what I mean? Like, he ain't going to just walk out exonerated free with, you know, without some sort of repercussion. He took a life. So it could, you know, like I said, we'll see what happens with it. But again, you know, people are interesting. People are interesting for sure. But here's something a little lighter that I wanted to talk to you guys about, because there's some other things that are going on. I mean, obviously there's stuff going on in, you know, Iran, which I talked about in the short. This is the reason why I keep saying, guys, please make sure you hit that subscribe button, but also, love, make sure you hit that notification bell, set it to all, so you know whenever I upload or go live, especially my shorts, because I've been doing a lot of shorts, y'all. So make sure you hit that notification bell after you hit the subscribe button. Set it to all so you know whenever I go live, whenever I upload, because I'm telling you right now, there are a lot of shorts I'm going to be doing. And then, you know, I'm working on some things. Like I said, there's some new things that I'm slow walking y'all to as well, which is going to be happening very, very soon. So like I said, just make sure you are subscribed, love, and make sure that notification bell is set to all, and hit that like button down below, please. And thank you. All right. Now I got something else for you guys. I got something for that ass. It's just a little bit more light, but it's causing quite the controversy. Just want to make that abundantly clear. There is a girl by the name of Tyvion Campbell. This is not a joke. Tyvion Campbell. She is a, you know, young girl. She was, what's interesting about this is that she was revoked her high school diploma because allegedly, well, not allegedly, it's because she literally did the splits.
Hello, everyone.
Hold on. Because she literally did the splits at, hold on, sorry guys, I'm trying to pull it up here. Because she literally did the splits at her graduation. Yes, guys, this is crazy. Take a look at this. Okay, so a high school student graduating from high school, you know, because right now it's that time of the year, okay, where all the kids are finally getting away from high school, right? They're finally graduating. They're about to go to college or whatever, start their OF profile. I don't know, but all I know is a lot of kids are very excited about getting their diploma and getting out of high school so that they can just do grown stuff, right? Now, what's interesting about this is that she had her diploma withheld because she ended up doing the splits right before she got her diploma. We're going to be hearing from her perspective, her side of things. We're going to be hearing her talk about all this as well. But here's the thing. She was just very excited. And let me tell you this here too. That is nothing in comparison to what I've seen recently. Okay? Like of other graduations. Full-on brawls have happened. Straight up brawls in the middle of graduation has happened, okay? I've seen other people, going crazy, twerking, doing their thing, dancing, just, getting hype, getting lit because they're excited about moving on in their lives. And some people, this is the only moment that they're going to have this is the only triumphant moment that they're going to have. A lot of people are not going to be, a lot of kids nowadays don't want to go to college. A lot of them want to start their own online business or start their own businesses and stuff like that because they realize, like, nowadays you don't really need a college degree to go be successful. It's just kind of how the world is. Unless you're going to be a doctor, go to school. You can't be a doctor without the proper credentials. But I'm just saying, like, for those who just want to be business owners or entrepreneurs or something like that, you don't really need the extra schooling, right? So people are excited about graduating. So she did the splits and she got kicked out of the graduation and was withheld her actual high school diploma just because she did the doggone splits. Take a look at this. This is crazy. I think it's crazy. And there are people like, she shouldn't have done that. Hell no, she ratchet. That's ratchet as hell, girl. You shouldn't have done that. Twerking and stuff. I mean, she did the splits. Who cares? It's her last final moment in life in school. She just trying to live her life. I don't see a problem with it. I get it. Like, yeah, there's a time and place for everything, but what's done is done. It's not like she went up and smacked somebody one of the staff in the face or something like that. Or, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on. Really? So a Chicago high school graduate has claimed she was booted out of her graduation ceremony and had her diploma withheld after dropping a split. She just went into a split, okay? As she trooped across the actual stage. So Chicago Tech Academy student Tyvion Campbell, who's 18, waved to her family and friends before she performed the dance move during last month's ceremony at Harold Washington Cultural Center in Chicago. She was just doing exactly what the title of that center does. She was just adding a little bit more culture to the graduation. I mean, come on, okay? Let's be real. Her dance move sent fans into raptures, but school leaders was far from impressed as they didn't hand her the diploma. The mystified student who graduated with a 3.5 GPA. Yo, come on, she got brains too. And plans to study business administration at Georgia State University, claimed she was even scolded afterwards. This is the split here, guys. We're going to see the video too. She was like, she dropped it. She went, blow. Okay? She did the whole splits. She was excited. She was excited. Okay? She said, I tried to reach for my diploma and I didn't get it. This is what she said. And continuing, she says, I was confused at first. I thought they mixed up my name. Tyvion Campbell's not. I would find it very hard for them to actually mix that up, but that's just me. Okay? Maybe there is a Tavion Campbell after her, before her or something. I don't know. Moving on though. All right. The principal, Miss Shackelford, she sounds anal retentive, but anyway, she sounds stuck up. Principal Miss Shackelford, okay, told me that I need to think of a way to make up for what I've done. This was supposed to be a celebratory moment, and I made it about myself. Campbell said she was escorted out of the ceremony, with which left her in tears, and claimed she still hasn't received her diploma. It was disappointing. It really hurt my feelings. I cried. I couldn't even continue the graduation. And this is, of course, Tavion right here. I mean, you know, obviously you saw her in the splits, but this is when she looks, you know, as a proper lady, not doing the splits. There it is. So I don't know what's up with Miss Shackelford. Yes, you're not allowed to do that. Okay. JLK. Yeah. Drop it for that diploma girl. Okay. You know what? Honestly, she's going into business administration. She ain't going to, you know, she ain't going like to them clubs and sliding down the pole across the river. You know what I'm saying? So if she wanted to drop it like it's hot for like a hot minute, who gives a damn? There are other people that do back flips. People are doing back handsprings and all this stuff. Like, I've seen so many crazy celebrations. Like, come on. It's just the splits, and she's still wearing the gown. It's not like she lifted up the gown. You know what I'm saying? And then went to the splits and was just twerking and stuff. She just did the splits. It may be the move. You're going to see it in a second. It may be the move after she did the splits that may have caused a problem. I will say that. Okay. Let's just say that really quick. She claimed she was reprimanded for the move, even though there wasn't a specific policy banning splits on stage. So the Academy has been approached for comment. Graduates have not just caused a stir over the celebratory dance moves. A senior at North Carolina's Clayton High School was cut off during her commencement speech as she blasted immigration enforcement. Yeah, there was another girl, white girl, that was, I think she was the valedictorian, and she was doing her speech, and then she said F ICE and free Palestine and all this in her speech. And somebody had to somebody ran up and tried to grab the mic and turn off the mic because of what she was saying in her graduation speech. Yeah, but that's a whole other Charles Dickens story in itself. Let's take a look at what Miss Campbell has to say for herself.
Hello everyone, my name is Typion Campbell /Siki Sue, and I'm reporting here to talk about my discrimination. Wait. I've come here to talk about how I've been wrongfully done at Chicago Tech Academy and how I didn't receive my diploma because I did a split on stage. Now, a quick backstory, I've been telling these people for weeks that I was going to do a split on stage. It was not a surprise. They just thought I was joking. So
she said in the very beginning, she told them, yo, I'm going to go up there, and before I get this diploma, I'm about to just go straight into the splits. I'm so excited, you don't even understand. They're like, okay, you funny. She ain't going to do that, is she? And then she ended up doing it. She did do it. So she's saying that she gave them fair warning. So they had plenty of time to go up to her and go, hi, sweetheart. Yes, this is Mrs. Shackelford. Yes. Yes. So this is Mrs. Shackelford. Mm-hmm. Yes. I need you to not go into the splits. Can you not do that? It's very, very off-putting. It'll give a different message to the other kids. Can you not do that? Thank you. She didn't end up doing that. Staff didn't end up going up to her and saying, hey, can you not do that? They just let her do it anyway. So why take her diploma? Of all things, her diploma. 3.5 GPA, guys. 3.5. 3.1, 2, 3, 4, 5th. You know what I'm saying?
And that's the problem now. Don't think I'm joking because I'm not. So yeah, I did my split on stage.
No. Hold up. Somebody said, Pascal, you wrong for justifying this. Hold up. I didn't justify nothing. I'm just spitting facts. They could have told her beforehand to not do it, and they didn't do it. Let me cook. Okay, I will put in my full opinion later. Okay, because there's more. Wait, dagnabbit. Okay, who's trying to be a Miss Shackleford in the comments? Miss Shackleford in the is you in the comments, Miss Shackleford? Huh? Are you in the chat? Are you in the chat? Miss Shackleford, principal of this school. Are you in the chat? See, my dogs don't even like Mrs. Shackleford. See what I'm saying? They got a big problem. Hey, tranquilo, okay, cabrón. Anyway, what? By the way, what's plural for cabrón? Anybody with Spanish? Anybody with a Spanish lineage, little background? What is the plural for cabrón? Let me know. Okay, but moving on. All right. So she is alleging that she told the school days before that she was going to do this, and they could have told her no. Let's find out if they ever did tell her no.
And I walked across, and it was the area where you're supposed to take pictures with your diploma. And the person who was handing out my diploma, she was just looking slow. Well, excuse me, not slow. But she was standing there looking crazy. So I'm like, babe, what are you doing? Hand me my diploma. And she's like,
sorry, that's hard facts. I'm sorry, that's not funny, but that's true. Antonia from downtown, that is absolutely facts. Karmelo was able to get his diploma, and he took the life of somebody. You know what I'm saying? He was able to, but not her? Is it cabrones? Or is cabrons? Cabrones. Tranquilo, cabrones. Right? But that's interesting, right? Karmelo got his diploma, and he took the life of a young guy. You know what I'm saying? So why can't she dropped it like it's hot into a split. That's all she did. That's all she did. She kind of did a little bit more, but we're going to talk about that in a second, okay? Okay?
I honestly thought that they mixed up my name and didn't have my name in the right order. I didn't even think that she was purposely not trying to give me my diploma at first. And then everyone's telling me.
Sounds like she's just jealous. Sounds like the principal's just jealous. Like, ooh, I wish I used to know how to do that back in the day, but I don't know how to do that no more. You know what I'm saying? Just being able to go straight into a split. You know? This is dumb. This is really dumb.
Oh, just go back and get it, go back and get it. And I'm like, wait, you're telling me to go back and get the diploma, and she's telling me to keep walking. So what do y'all want me to do? So I was just confused. I ended up keep walking across the stage, and I was standing there for a minute. I was standing there like, I'm not moving until I get my diploma. I'm not moving until I get my diploma. Why didn't you give me my diploma? So I ended up sitting down. Long story short, everybody's like, sit down, sit down. So I had a seat. I went, sat down, whatever. After I sat down, I was escorted out of the graduation ceremony, and I was taken outside by a dean. And I was met with my principal, Shackleford, Miss Shackleford, Zatea Shackleford to be exact. And I was met out there, and she was beyond angry, like livid. It was genuine tears in her eyes, and her mouth was shaking. She was really, 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 really upset. And she's like, you need to figure out a way how you're gonna make up for this. You're not getting your diploma until you figure out a way how you're gonna make up for what you just did. And I'm like, wait, I have to figure that out, or do you have to figure that out? So yeah, this was honestly just a confusing experience. Long story short, I ended up leaving. I didn't even get to do the left to right or right to left with the graduation cap because I was really upset. Like, I was really upset. And then to end this off, the next line of students who went, a girl went up that stage and did a. So let me tell y'all something. That girl still received her diploma and everything.
So twerking is okay, but dropping into a splits is not okay. Interesting. Interesting.
But my act, the whole world shook. So yeah, it's been countless of times where I've been punished more than another student just because of me. I think the school has something personal against me. Why? I have no idea. I think it's because I'm happy, I'm glowing, I'm always outgoing, and most of all, I have money.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Okay. Now we all have been wanting to see what exactly did she do that was wrong. Now I can't play the audio because of the music, but we can take a look at the video itself. And I'm going to say this too. Everybody, my beautiful people, please, oh God, please change out the freaking battery in your freaking smoke detector. Can you please do that for me? Can you please do that for me? She went through a whole TikTok, and at the very, very end of her TikTok, that's when that freaking smoke detector went beep out of nowhere. Please, for the love of everything that is holy, in fact, F it. Not me just saying this to just stop the perpetuating of the stereotype, okay? I'm just saying for your own safety, okay? Stop. Change it out. Now. Stop it. I don't know what is up with that, man. Stop it. Damn. Marie, thank you so much for the super chat. I really do appreciate it. Thank you so much. I think Principal Shackleford just needs to get a life and something else. She needs some of that vitamin D. That's what it sounds like to me. Okay. I think that they just don't like that she's confident, and maybe she's already found success. Maybe this girl's already found success in her life. I don't know. She just says she has money, or maybe she just comes from an affluent family, which is dope as well. But at the same time, beep, don't do that. Just stop. Or maybe maybe Shackleford has some deep desires that are still in the closet. She just doesn't know how to express them. I don't know, okay? But it sounds like she hasn't gotten laid in a while, and she needs to loosen up. Maybe take an edible. I don't know. Something. Drink a beer. Something. But please, oh God, please, especially my black community, my black family, please, if it's beeping right now, just go to the store, get the battery, get on top of a chair or on a small, short foot ladder, okay? Or a footstool. That's what I was thinking of, okay? Reach up to the skies and get that smoke detector down, I said. Okay, down, I said. And then replace the battery and then twist that thing right back up in that thing so it can keep doing its thing without doing the beep. Please. Please. And don't tell me, oh no, it's too hot. Get a ladder. Get a ladder. Get a ladder. Moving on, let's get into this, okay? Get a ladder, man, and get some batteries, man, and then buy some extras just in case the other ones go off too, okay? Because you know for a fact, if that one's going off in about a 2-day time span, it gonna go off, okay? You know for a fact another one, beep, you're like, where's that one now? Where is that one now? Ladies, I'm going to tell you this too. You want to know a big turnoff for guys? That sound. Beep. It's a turnoff. And fellas, you want to know what a big turnoff is? That sound. Beep. For the ladies, it's a huge turnoff. Because they're like, oh, you don't take care of yourself? Oh, yeah, everything's nice and clean, but beep. Damn, you just listen to that all day long? That's all you listen to as soon as you go home? You go to sleep? Beep. That's all you hear? Just change the battery, man. Damn. Beep. Change the freaking battery, man. Okay. So the moment we've all been waiting for, okay? You ain't, fellas, ladies, y'all ain't gonna get laid. Because they're gonna be like, I'm just not in the mood anymore. Why? Beep, because of that. Well, let me fix it right now. Let me fix it right now. No, it's not. Everything dried up. Everything limp, ladies. Everything dried up, fellas. Put the battery, a new battery, in the smoke detector. Damn it. Thank you. Now, Legend, Legend, don't you dare get me mad. Don't you dare get me angry. Do not dare, okay? You realize you could go to the dollar store and get like 5 of them for like $5? Okay. Those whatever volt batteries that they is, or those AAA, AA batteries, however your smoke detector is set up. You could go to the freaking thing. It may only last a month, but at the same time, you still got the beep over with for a little bit of time. Change the batteries, man. Think of the children. Just think of the children, man. Beep. Oh, damn it. Anyway, here's the video. Can't play the audio, but let's take a look. It's something that she does that I think she got mad about. Here it is. Boom, boom. It's the bouncing. It's the bouncing I think they have a problem with. The splits is no big deal, I think. It's the bouncing. You know what I'm talking about. It's the bouncing that is a problem, I think. Boom. Yeah, that is a big problem. By the way, it's not like she hiked up the gown and was like, just showing them clappers, okay? It's not like she was doing anything showing off the booty, the booty meat or anything like that, okay? None of that. But she did the splits and then she did, she bounced. And I think that is the problem. But here's the thing. See what I did there? But here's the problem. The other girl, she alleges that the other girl did a little twerk. So I would like to know, why dost thou not allow young, sprightly woman, why dost thou stop her from doing the splits, but you let thy other young woman twerketh? I'm just saying. Why dost thou allow twerketh? Why? So again, it's the bounce for me. I can see like the splits, it's like, woo, yes, right? But she went up and down a couple times, and I think that is the problem. Because now it looks actual. Splits is no big deal. Like, cheerleaders do it all day long. Rah, rah, sis, boom, bah. Go Tigers, right? Be aggressive, right? You got all that, and they're doing splits all the time. There's nothing actual about it. I mean, you get what I'm saying, all right? They ain't bouncing like that. So I can see maybe why the principal's like, oh, no. Miss Shackleford just... Oh, my dear, what? What? No. She bounced. No, she bounced. I don't like that. Maybe that's what's going on here. I don't know. Yeah, spirit fingers. But she bounced. So I can see a little bit of that. But if somebody else twerked, But what say you guys? To me, I don't see the big deal. I don't. Whether she bounced or not, I don't care. It's her last moment. It's not like she was stripping into her birthday suit and sliding down a pole. I don't think it was that bad. It's her last moment. And there have been worse things. I've seen people try to do failed attempt backflips and all that stuff. I've seen guys getting into brawls right there in the middle of the graduation. I've seen really bad things. We've all seen them. They've all gone viral lately. We've all seen that stuff. But like I said, so what? You're going to reprimand a kid who just finished school? She's not going there anymore. It's done. She finished everything. And it's not like she was just getting by or practically almost failing this from school. She has a very good GPA. I say just let them celebrate and be done with it. Man, bye. Get off the stage. Bye. Here's your diploma. Bye. We don't have to see that ever again. You know what I mean? But, it only gets worse as time goes on. It only gets more and more. It only gets worse. In fact, I remember sitting in a graduation a couple years ago, and they literally said, come up here, you get your diploma, don't do any weird stuff, or you're going to have problems. They literally said it before any names, before the names were even announced, before the Michael Johnson, you know what I mean? Before they did any of that, they said, here are the rules. You come up here, you get the diploma. Don't do any funny stuff, or we're going to have problems. Okay, we can go. You know what I mean? And everybody went up there and was like, okay. And they just got their stuff and they were out. Few people like, yeah, raising their fists, like, made it, that kind of thing. But that was about it. Very tame, and everybody chilled the F out. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know. Maybe no fair warning before she did this, splits. Hold on. Take a trip down memory lane again. Boom. Yeah, it's the bounce. That's the problem. It's the bounce. And you know what? I'm going to say this too. If that was my child, I'd be like, honey, the bounce. Why did you have to do the bounce? Why couldn't you just, stay in one spot? Why did he have to bounce? That's just me, though. But what do you guys think? Should she be revoked her diploma for doing the splits and a little bounce? What are your thoughts? I don't see a problem with it. I've seen much worse. At least in these other viral videos, I've seen a lot. I've seen ones where you're like, what are you wearing? Real talk. There's just outfits that, where's your gown? You're not, wow, you're not supposed to be dressed like that. I've seen that. And then I've seen other guys just do really idiotic, really stupid things. This is not as bad as what I've seen, but let's see. Elante just said 4.3 GPA my son obtained with honors. Okay. He not doing nothing disrespectful. That's hard work. Congratulations on your son and that amazing GPA. Damn, that's crazy. But again, in this day and age, with what we deal with, 3.5 GPA and higher is an accomplishment, in my personal opinion. With everything else that we have to deal with in this day and age, not sitting here saying that I'm trying to justify low grades, okay? But I think it's pretty amazing. You know, I don't think that she was like a class clown or someone was out here that's trying to be, you know, stupid out here. I think she just wanted to celebrate. Let her celebrate and get her off the damn stage, and that's it, and be done. You don't ever have to see her again. But now that this has become a viral moment that everybody and their mom is talking about it, now they're going to have problems in that high school in other future graduations because they're all now going to try to push the envelope. They're all going to try to go above and beyond what she did. You see what I'm saying? So we'll see. It's going to be worse than a little jiggle or a splits. It's going to be full on just, you know, twerk city. Okay. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. But again, what say you guys on that? But anyway, guys, I'm going to wrap up the show. It's time to get going. But of course, keeping an eye on a lot of things. If there's some things that pop off, we'll be back here to talk about it if I can get here. Like the whole hostage situation couldn't even get here in enough time to be able to cover it with you guys. But if something does pop off, I'll be around for sure today. So that is the show. Appreciate all y'all for being here. Really means a lot. Thank you so much for tuning in and being a part of the conversation. Thank you so much. Make sure before you head out, hit that like button down below. Crush it, do what it do. Hit that reaction button if you're watching on these other platforms. If you are watching on these other platforms, make sure you hit that follow button. Subscribe right here to my YouTube channel. Subscribe. Go to my second channel, The Pascal Show Clips. Subscribe over there as well. Please and thank you, okay? Hit that join button down below. Become a member. Check out my Patreon. And, of course, check out PascalMerch.com. PascalMerch.com. We got some really great stuff over there. Go check it out. PascalMerch.com. Anyway, guys, it's time to get going. Have a great one, guys, and I'll be talking to you guys very, very soon. Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. This is The Pascal Show.